Hello and welcome back to a Japan tutorial for Hearts of Iron 3. In this episode, we will finally take on the Allies and transition from a regional conflict to a global war. And along the way, we'll discuss the following topics. First, we'll look at theater reorganization as our forces become too spread out to be effectively managed by one theater command structure. We'll also look at carrier fleet organization and begin to assemble the framework that will destroy the British Navy. Next, we'll discuss where to position our naval and land forces to be ready when the war with the Allies begins. Lastly, we'll check the technology tab and add more text to our dwindling queue, as well as adjust our production focus, staying with marine units, carriers, cruisers, and transports, but also adding garrison units to protect our acquisitions. And, of course, we'll see just how to deal with and eliminate the only real threat to Japan at this stage, the British Navy. So let's get started. Alright, just a quick recap of what has happened in the previous episodes. We have conquered China. Communist China is almost to that point, but we are still using it to maintain our war economy. The Samurai Road has been built and is operational, ready to go. Fleets and armies have been built, and now Japan just needs to step onto the world stage, so to speak. But first, let's look at something we haven't talked about yet: theaters and theater organization. All right, when you click on the theaters tab right here, it'll take you to this menu, and this is mainly for automating some parts of the game. It'll show you your list of theaters over here on the right, and it shows you what the AI thinks you need to build in those theaters, and you can click here and it adds that stuff to the queue. I don't use this menu at all. If I want to adjust theaters, look at them, do anything with them, I go to the theater command itself. And I'll click on this button here. This is where you can edit the theater and select provinces that should belong to this theater. I'll just click here and show you. Now you can see I've already made changes here. I think the last game ended on the 12th of September. It's the 19th. So yeah, I've made a few changes. I've changed this to the China theater, and it includes all of China, all of national China that we conquered, plus Korea. We have another theater. We only have two really right now. This is the Imperial General Headquarters Theater, and it's basically just mainland Japan and part of this island and a few other islands here. But let's go back to the China Theater. Again, I changed it to make China Theater. I also created another theater down here, which is called the Southeast Asia Theater. It does not have any provinces attached to it yet, because this theater will be moving down to Siam along with the First Army Group. So, what happens when you have one army group, one theater, and your two armies? Here's the First Army here, which is in communications range, and the second one is not. And this is the way it's going to be when we start the game. We'll have Southeast Asia Command and the First Army Group headquarters down here in Siam, and Second Army will still be up here in the Samurai Road corridor, and it will likely be out of range at that. It probably will be out of range, which means it won't have its perks that it needs, and it'll be at a little disadvantage. So how do we fix this? Well, we create another theater, of course. So how do we do that? We go to let's go back to the Second Army, and we're going to detach this from the First Army Group. And now you can see it's independent. And we're going to just click this here to create a new army group. And when you click this, it automatically attaches the Second Army to your new army group. So we'll click it here. Here's our new army group, Second Army Group. Select, and it already has the Second Army attached, and it keeps all the organization, has all the cores and all that. But we need a new theater. So let's go here. Click this button to create a new theater and attach everything below it to it. And here's our new theater. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce that, but we're going to change this. I want to call it Western China Theater. There we go. And now we're going to Click here again, Edit Theater, and we're going to select provinces that should belong to this theater. These are the beginning provinces for it. Just click and drag, and I'm going to add these just separated at the region line here. These are going to be the starting provinces for this theater. And now we have a proper, let's go get out of the theater map mode. Now we have a proper command organization structure for these units over in Western China, and now they will get all the benefits of that. Okay, one other thing kind of related to this, I'm going to detach a few corps from the armies because obviously we do not need a full army up here. Well, maybe it's not obvious right now, but it will be. There's a reason for it. The infrastructure is good up here, and the infrastructure we built here can handle an entire army, but the infrastructure in Burma cannot. So I'm going to detach. Let's go to the Second Army. We're going to detach the 9th and 10th Corps, and they're going to be independent for now. I will probably have them stay, like this one, 10th Corps will probably stay and monitor Communist China for a while. The 9th Corps is right here. We'll probably move them over to the coast. And again, we're just going to go in. 3 corps will be plenty in Burma, trust me. We're going to do the same for the first army that we're going to bring down to Siam. We're only going to bring 2 corps down there because, honestly, the infrastructure down here is terrible. Let's look, I'll show you. Let's go to the terrain map mode. It's all jungle and mountain. All the fighting here is going to be slow, very slow, and it's going to take some time to go through here. So, and it only supports, I think, let's go to infrastructure. I don't know if it's going to tell us. No, it's not going to tell us, but I believe it's no better than this, which is 4. I believe most of India is 4 and 3 infrastructure. There's very little yellow here. So again, I would approach it with 3 corps from the north and 2 to 3 from the south. Again, you have this tiny little corridor here. Once you take Burma, yeah, great supply source. But again, it's only as good as the infrastructure up here. And this infrastructure, my guess, and I've played this before, I think I was only able to get 2 or 3 corps in here. So we're going to have 6 altogether. That may even be too much right now for this area. It doesn't matter. We're going to do invasions of Ceylon and southern India anyway. So it'll be fine. All right, and if you can remember from last episode, we do have research available. We're only researching, let's see, 16 of 21, so we need to fill it in. What we're going to do is look for texts that we may have missed. Let's go ahead and get the light cruiser improvement texts. I was thinking about the destroyers, but they're not as important. Let's go ahead and get all of these bomber texts that are 1941, including the 4-engine airframe ones, because we're going to need these for the transports. If you want to play around with strategic bombers, go ahead and get this, but I generally don't. Get all the fighter techs. Actually, this should have been in the queue a lot sooner than now. That was an oversight. It's one of the most important techs for upgrading your aircraft, so put it at the top and add all the others as well. Also add all the carrier doctrine techs and tactical air command, which gives you better ground attack organization. And these airborne related techs, like this airborne assault one, and I think there was one over in infantry. Yeah, airborne warfare equipment. We'll get these later. We don't need them right now. That's all we need for right now. One last thing I forgot to mention, but is probably obvious by now. Go to the new theater and select a commander for the theater. It doesn't have to be anybody special. I selected this guy, just some 2-skill general, bumped him up to 4 stars and said good luck. But you're going to want to find someone better for your army group commander. Go to the order of battle, look for Southeast Asia Theater, or whatever you called yours, and look for someone, look at Yamashita, look at his skill, find the best guy you can, look at all your leaders, and find the best one to fill that role. And I found 3 that would fill the role: 1st Corps Commander, 2nd Corps Commander, and 6th Corps Commander. Down here are all level 5. So I'll just pick the first corps commander, Hata, and put him there. Here's a level 4 guy from 2nd Corps Division Commander. He's a level 4. We'll replace him. Usually I just no leader them, go to the Corps. All right, we need to promote him as well. And then for the Division Commander, you should be able just to pick any of these guys. So I'll just pick this guy right here. All right, just a few more administrative tasks, and I was going to start with organizing the carrier task forces, but I'm going to wait until this last batch, and this isn't really going to be the last batch, but until this next batch finishes, and we'll do that, I guess, in December. But there's one other thing we can do. We have a bunch of destroyers here that we're not really using, and since, if you look at technology, one of the doctrines, sea lane defense, destroyers and battleships share tech, and they kind of synergize together like carriers and light cruisers. So we're going to assign, I'm going to assign all of these destroyers likely to the battle groups down here, just to make them a little stronger, because remember, all of these legacy fleets really, we have not upgraded the heavy cruisers, the battleships. They're old. These ships are going to get beat up in the war to come. They're going to be the most of our casualties will be in these battle groups because these are old tech. But it's not going to matter. You'll see. But to make them last longer, go ahead and spread out your destroyers throughout these 3 fleets. And if you see a leader's name in red, that just means that their rank isn't high enough for them to command that many ships. Just increase their rank if you see that. And lastly, before we start moving the military around, I would like to discuss what we're going to focus on for production during this part of the tutorial. And it's mainly going to be a lot of what we have been doing. We're going to stay with Marine Infantry. You're going to want those a lot more, probably. We're going to start with 8 divisions, but by the end, you're probably going to have double that. So we're going to have Marines, transports. You can't get enough of those. Keep producing those if you can. You want at least 1 per each Marine division. More if you can. More carriers, yes, and light cruisers. And you'll see why when you get later into the campaign. Because you're just gonna need, they're your main naval force. You're gonna need as many as you can of those. And lastly, you're going to want garrison units because we need to defend the territory that we take from the British. So, with that in mind, you're going to want more Marines probably right away. So, let's get 4 of them going, and we can do, they're 11.47 each. Problem is they take half a year, so they're not exactly the best thing to do serial production. You can, but you're also going to want to do parallel at the same time. How much IC do we have to play with? Well, look, we don't have any upgrade need right now or reinforcements. We have tons of supplies. So spend as much as you want right now on production. So let's go with 4 more Marine divisions and 4 more transports at least. And we might actually, something we could put on a serial production are garrisons, because we don't need them right away, but we're going to need them soon. So just add 4, and these cost how much to make each? They are 8.74. Do, let's see. We're going to need plenty. Do 8 of them. Actually, just do 4, because we don't know how long we're going to need the serial run. And as usual, push everything. Well, let's see. Let's push the airborne units to, because we don't need them. And these are really expensive. We haven't even started our conflict yet. And we don't need them until later in the conflict. All right, let's run it till the next day and see where we're at. Okay. That looks pretty good. In fact, we're paying for these. We're producing these 2 airborne units, which we don't really need now. So we could use 30 more for other things, like, say, Light cruisers. Yep, 8 of them. 32. Let's go. And push the airborne units to the bottom. And everything else. All right, time for our next project. And if I haven't already answered why we're going after Siam, or maybe I already have answered and I've forgotten, I'm going to say it one more time. Let's take a look at our transports, and I'll show you. Just hover over one of them. Notice the range, 3,000 kilometers. Well, that's actually long enough for you to get from this port down to the enemy ports to invade. But if you have to go back and forth or move from one to another following escorts along the way, you might run out of range. Plus, it's just a lot quicker to get to where you want to go and coordinate things down in this area if you have ports in the area. And this is a great port right here. This is the one you want. Okay, we can't quite see the real port value here, but it's quite high. And it's plenty enough to support most of your Navy and be a place to do repairs if needed until you can get Singapore. But it's just a really good port to have real close to the action. And it's very useful. Plus, again, you can put your armies here. And as soon as you go to war with the Allies, boom, you can go right in. You already have your armies ready to go. So let's get started with this. Now I have my Marines here, but I don't know if these... Let's load up one and see if they're in range. All right, let's see if this one can make it down to this gulf. It can. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and send it. We're going to need probably 4 divisions here and another division down here. As you can see, there is... Let's look at the VP map mode. There's a victory condition here. Province. 1 here. 1 here. This is 3 points. 1 point. This is 1 point. This is 1 point. Now, if you're curious about their national unity and where they'll break, you can go to intelligence, go to Asia, Siam, and you look over here, it doesn't tell you as a question mark. But you can, there's another place you can kind of get an idea. Go to diplomacy, go to Asia, Siam, and then look up here. Says they have national unity of 69.3%, but this isn't always accurate, but it gives you kind of an idea. It looks to me, from what I take from that is it's a little low. So we probably don't need this one, and it's a lot easier to take this one than it is to take this one. If you take this, this, and this in quick succession, they're done. So that's what we're going to do. 4 divisions here, 1 here. All right, let's load up the next 4. Just make sure the last 3 here in the port don't have troops on them. I've actually done this before. It's too bad that this doesn't show you in this list that there's troops aboard some of these. Now you have to go look. But it's the top 5 here that we're taking. So let's just do this. We've already got that one. Now let's send them there. Well, no, we'll pick one and then send it there instead. There we go. And we're going to need some naval power there as well. So let's send Battle Group 1 here. See, this is the problem. So in this case, when you get something like this, just move Battle Group 1. Let's rebase it first. Put it right here. All right, it should be in range now, but it's not. And I suspect it's because of those old ass destroyers that we have in there. So let's get rid of them, at least just for this mission. I created a new unit, moved all the destroyers out, and we should be able to now. Yes. Let's move there. Okay, when I first arrived, it did show the enemy units here, and then they disappeared. It'll do that sometimes. It'll give you a little indicator, an idea of what you're up against. I think there was a couple units here, a couple here, but I've done this before. It's no big deal. We have to go to Siam, declare war. I don't think they have. So they're granting military access to the United Kingdom and France, but they have no allies. This is important. You want to puppet them. We're not here to conquer. We want to puppet. Why do we want to puppet? Because we don't want insurrections popping up behind us while we're going to war with the British in Burma. So, and we want Siam to be a partner to give us, it's going to be a supply source for us. So we don't have to rely on bringing it in from Tokyo. So that's very important. In fact, we're probably going to puppet every government that we take from now on. But so let's just select that, say I do. And now we're at war and let's go. Let's land. Oh, go to your VP mode. And we want this one again. So take your Marines, hit that. And then we're not going for the capital. It's going to be, remember, we want a supply source here. If we land at the capital, there's no way to get supply sources. You can only ship supplies into ports. So you must, when you're amphibious landing, it's very important to take a port in this game. So the rest of them, I think we have to do these one at a time. Yep. Well, that's 2. Let's see what odds we get with that. Oh, that's good. We're just going to leave the 2. And as soon as we take this, okay, we'll land with the other 2 Marine divisions, and then we can immediately attack. We might catch some of their navy coming out of the port, but then they may have already slipped past us. Where is the rest of our... Let's land these 2. Land them at the port right away. And now we got 2 Marine units we can attack with immediately. Okay, we took it. Now let's advance. Oh, we got 3 divisions. The others recuperated rather quickly. We will advance them. And as soon as they reach this province, we'll attack. And we're going to have to attack across the river, but we have far greater numbers. We shouldn't be a problem. This, by the way, if anyone's wondering and has been seeing this, this is an offer of military access from Portugal. I think they want to, they're saying, hey, you can come into our country if you want. I think they're scared of us. You can accept or not. It's up to you. All right, we've arrived at the capital. I'm going to go ahead and attack with all 3. Let's just take 2 divisions and see what that looks like across the river. And if we need to, we'll go around. But I think this will be okay. Oh, yeah, that was just an HQ unit there. They've already been pushed out. Okay, there we go. We're in Bangkok now. And assuming the intelligence was semi-accurate, let's take a look at Siam. Yep, their surrender progress is 100%. So by the end of the day, they will surrender and become our puppet. There we go. Puppet Siam. Good job. And now their military will work for us. They like to send their aircraft and follow our armies and help us. So that's also a benefit. So I'm going to, I think, it looks like all of our transports left again. Not sure why. I thought I set them to rebase, but we want them to come back, pick up the Marines, and leave. And just go ahead and park your battle group here, because it's probably going to stay here for a while. Okay, I rebased all of my Marine divisions to Taiwan. They're sitting in this province right here. That includes the ones that were sitting, the 3 that I left here. I moved them to this province along with the ones that were in Siam, along with the transports. I think there's enough infrastructure here, 60% to support all this, and supply level looks okay. Got 440 local supply. I think that'll do. They can stay there until we can move them a little closer when we're going to need them. For now, I did move over one first corps from the First Army. They are sitting here now. And just to judge supply levels, I want to see what one corps sitting in Siam does, and it looks just fine. It's been here for a couple days. And we still have plenty of supplies, so I'm going to bring over a second corps and then look at it after a few days and see what it does to supply levels. That'll give me an indicator of how many corps I can support over here. Okay, this is holding steady also, so I'm going to bring one more corps over. So I had some fuel issues here. This is the next corps I was going to bring over. Third Corps along with the 1st Army Group in Theater Command, but my transports were a little low on fuel, and I'm just sitting here waiting. Sometimes you'll see this, especially if you load up a transport and then you start off and it's going so slow. It's because there was no fuel in the province when you left. Sometimes you got to wait a little bit for fuel levels to rise and then go. Probably another day or two. Okay, that looks decent. I think that's enough fuel. Yeah, let's load them up. Oh, by the way, if anybody's wondering, we're probably, I'll take care of these in a bit, but we're probably going to be going to war with the Allies late January, early February of next year. The reason is I have to wait until these carriers here, one of them has completed, but I need to wait until these carriers are done because I'm going to need them, and they won't complete till December. And then by the time I get them ready and get a leader on them and organized and their organization levels are up and transported to where I need them, it'll probably be late January. But that's when we're expecting it. All right, as you can see, we have 12 divisions here, 3 corps, along with all the leaders, and supply level looks good. It's holding steady, so we're going to use 2 corps up here at the north and 1 corps against, well, Malaya down here. So if I were you, before the war starts, we need to, because since the supply comes from Bangkok, it looks like. Yep. And is this down here is also supplied from Bangkok. So get your divisions down here and see if you're going to have supply down here. See if you're going to have any supply issues. And since I think they already know we're here, you might as well bring the 1st and 2nd Corps up to, let's see, this is a supply. Might as well bring them up to this province here. What's the infrastructure levels look like? Yeah, it's all the same, so it doesn't matter. All right, more transports have finished production. So is there something else? Nope. Let's look in the production queue. I think we're going to leave it as is because we now have a need for upgrades. So I think, and you don't want to ignore upgrades, because if you do, you'll get in a situation where later in the war you're fighting with older equipment and you're going to start getting your ass kicked. So always pay attention to see if you need upgrades. You can delay them for some time, but if you have the IC to do it, go ahead and put them on upgrades. If you don't, then do it 50% or whatever you need to, but don't delay it too long. So I just noticed down here in Siam, some of these battle group fleets were getting a position penalty, probably because there are too many ships in the fleet. It's not because of the leader rank. So when you see this, just remove some of the ships, and you'll see the position penalty up here. Just remove some of these old destroyers until that goes away. There we go. So I had to but reduce it a little bit. So now they each have 13. All right, last group of carriers are complete, including the garrison units. We'll just put them right here, but we'll put these with the 2nd Navy like the others. And what do we have in the 2nd Navy? I believe we have 21. Yes, 21 frontline carriers. And so we can start organizing our naval forces, our carrier air group. So let's do that now. All right, looking at this, we have 16 Class 6 type carriers, and we have 2 Shikaku class Type 4 and 3 Type 3s, our earlier ones. So that's 21. We're going to put, again, our carrier groups are going to consist, each group is going to consist of 4 carriers and 8 light cruisers. So what we want to do is divide them up as equally as we can into those groups. There's also, now our light cruisers aren't as good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Type 5 light cruisers. 2 Type 4s, a bunch of 3s and 2s. Now we're working on that in production, so this is going to be our last run of these. Probably going to do several more, but this is what we got for now. So spread them out as evenly as possible into 5 groups. All right, here are my 5 carrier air groups, and they generally are like this. Again, 4 carriers. I think they each, except for, well, the 5th group is not as good as the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and we'll get to that. But the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th generally has level 6 carriers, couple level 5 cruisers, level 4 cruisers, some 3s, and maybe a level 2 for the first 4. The 5th CAG has the level 4 carriers, the level 3 carriers, and level 3 and 2 light cruisers. Now, just keep that in mind and take care of the 5th carrier air group for now. You just want to watch it. It's not as powerful as the others, and it'll basically be our backup until we get more in produced. And speaking of, we're going to have to add another group right now. That's what I'm going to add to the queue. Go ahead and add the air groups, and but put the air groups last, and move the carriers up, and make sure they're being produced, even if we don't get the garrisons out. You might also want to do it at the expense of some light cruisers, because they don't take as long to build. The carriers take about a year. I let it run another day, and fortunately it looks okay. We can do the carriers and all the light cruisers. Our Marines, we still got this 1 bomber unit in here, and our convoys and escorts. Nice. All right, lastly, we're going to want to find leaders for our carrier air groups, and I suggest that you take the leaders that are currently in the battle groups and remove them. You're going to want them for your carrier. These are the best leaders you have right now, so you're going to want them, no leader, for your carrier air groups. All right, this is what we have to choose from. So, of course, Yamamoto is going to be a carrier air group commander now. And for the second one, we're going to choose probably this guy, Ozawa. He's our next best. The 3rd CAG. We have some 4s now, but we probably want to give them to the superior tacticians. Ooh, Koga looks good. Superior tactician and a good spotter. The 4th one, we will probably give it to this guy. And the 5th one, for now, we'll give it to this one, Mikawa, but we'll probably use him for the next one that comes off the line. And for the battle groups, we can select. We're going to need these 4s, this 4 here for a carrier. Let's put in some of these 3 commanders, these 3 skills. This guy is a superior tactician, so we'll put him there. And battle group 2. See if there are any others. Level 3, the spotter would be good. And so this old guard, this means that you generally don't want to use these commanders because they don't gain experiences quickly. I mean, if you have to, use them, but just be aware that they don't gain experience as quickly. So I typically stay away from them. I'll just put Indo with Battle Group 3. And see, here he needs to be promoted. So there you go. Now you can handle... No, he needs one more promotion. There we go. Notice also that when you change commanders for a fleet, their organization goes down about half. And it takes time for that to recover. So we're going to... Well, in the meantime, let's bring down... While we're waiting and getting everything ready, let's go ahead and bring down our carrier air groups. Oh, he needs to be given a little promotion as well. Bring our carrier air groups down to Siam. And then we're going to let them, their organization, improve to 100%. All right, carrier air groups are arriving, and that reminds me that this corps has finished with its strategic redeployment, and the local supply looks pretty good, so let's spread them out. I'll put the actual core unit here and spread these out a bit Since we just finished technology on light cruisers, those just completed, I believe. Yep, we're up to level 1942. I want to take a look at the technology and the production and see if that's a new model. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So, and we have enough. We can do this too. We just have to move the bomber unit down to the bottom and not produce the garrison or part of this. And we should be able to add 8 more light cruisers. All right, here's our queue now. The escorts, convoys, the Marines, the first batch of light cruisers, carriers, next batch of light cruisers. That's it for now. Okay, lastly, you're going to want to strategically redeploy all 3 corps to this province here as a prelude to attack. And I know it's just one province over, but these take a while to get there. Just do the strategic redeployment. It is faster. All right, I lied. One last thing. These are all your air units, or they should be around in northern China or wherever you left them, and move them down to this airfield down in Siam. Okay, just a few more things down near Siam. We don't need the transports down here. These corps are going to stay here. They're not likely going to be transported anywhere anytime soon. So get those and send them back up somewhere close to Japan or China. I'm just going to dump them, I guess, here because you're more likely going to need them up here instead. Also, I forgot something down here. And good thing I remembered, there are no aircraft here. By the way, when people look at this and say I have a tiny air force, well, I actually don't. My Navy's air force is the largest in the world. I have 20 carrier air groups here. I have 21 carrier air groups here. Again, I have a gigantic air force, but they're all on carriers. The cool thing about this is where Japan fights mostly is accessible in some part to water, especially it's very handy down here, your carrier air groups. But what we need to do is send these to our carriers. So highlight them all. Oh, we need to give leaders to them also. But there's a problem here. And this is kind of, I don't think they intended for the Japan player to have this many carriers. But if you look at the air leaders, there's not enough to go around. So, just assign as many as you can, and the rest, assign them to carrier air group 1 first, and then the second and third. And, your last one, carrier air group 5, won't have any. And part of 4 won't either, but that's just the way it is. So, you highlight all these. You come down here, right-click, and say rebase to carrier. Soviet Union is mobilizing. Okay, so if we go to the carrier, now we see our carrier groups. Just do the same to the second group up there, and assign leaders to them. All right, 12th of February now, and I really wanted to start before this date, but I'm still waiting. As you can see, I'm still waiting for the organization to max out here. It takes a while sometimes. After I added all the commanders to the air groups, we're at 50 out of 55. I think we'll start now. I think that's probably good enough. We're close enough. Pause it, and let's get everything started. We have 8 Marine divisions. Remember, we have 8 Marine divisions here. They're going to be our landing forces. We're going to use 4 divisions against Singapore, and we have 4 other targets. I think I'm going to go here and capture this part of British Malaya, and I'm probably going to go after, because as soon as we declare war on the UK, we will be at war with the Dutch as well because they're allies. So I think I'm going to take Batavia and then also go after Palembang. So I'd be one port here. I'm going to start here and then move these 2 divisions in, and then a division here, division here. All right, so let's get started. We already have our Navy down here, so we don't have to worry about it. Let's load up all the Marines. Okay, Marines are all loaded. We want the first 4. Let's take the first 4 and send them to the Gulf of Thailand. And then we're going to need a little protection as we land in these other areas. So we'll probably use one of the battle groups for protection. Let's use battle group 3. We'll send them. We'll probably be okay up here, but let's send the battle group to this sea zone. And then that way they can respond. If there's an issue, they can respond here, where we'll have 2 transports, and we'll have a transport here, and we can wait on the other transport until these are done, and then we can move the battle group and the other transports here to take this port. So for these other 4, like this one, take these 2. Let's see, we're going to amphibious invade here and here, so send them here. Then send the last 2 here. There you go. So let's go ahead and let it go. Oh, we'll probably also, we're going to need the 2 battle. Let's just send this entire naval force to Singapore Strait. All right, it looks like everything is in place. We have our invasion force here, battle group here, 2 of them here. We have 4 transports with Marines. Our battle groups are carrier air groups. So let's go to the British and knock on their door and say, oh, by the way, we would like to take some of your stuff. We're going to go ahead and go with conquer. It doesn't really matter. If you want the war to keep going and going and going, just select conquer. If you want to try to acquire some territory, you can do that. But as soon as you take it, the war will probably continue anyway. You could puppet Great Britain, but I'm going to select conquer. There we go. Now we're at war with, let's see who we are exactly at war with now. United Kingdom, Iraq, and well, all their allies. Yemen, Bhutan, Nepal, France. Most of these allies, by the way, will be our puppets by the end of the game. Let's have the Marines land at Singapore. All 4 divisions. You're probably, well, let's start with 2 and then see how that looks. But I'm pretty sure you're going to need all 4. This one can land here. Actually, no, let's bring these over here. And we want them, this one, to land at this port. And this one to land at this port. And do your speed. I would set the speed on this to kind of half speed, because things are going to go really quickly here and you don't want to miss anything. Like right here already we have some Dutch ships. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like they're trying to go after my transports. Let's see if I can get my transports over here. There we go. Now if you look over here, you'll see that we got 23% here. We got Singapore Command, that looks like a division, and it looks like 2 leaders. So 2 divisions should probably be okay here. Just watch this. And how do these look here? There's no opposition here. We should take these just fine. And let's go ahead and unload this one here. This is 43. This looks good. We'll take that pretty quickly. Singapore is the one you want to watch out for. Also, you know what we're going to do? Let's go ahead, because we don't want the British to come sink our transports. And in this game, that often happens where the enemy will bring in an opposing naval force to where you have all of your carrier air groups and battle groups. They'll come in, sneak in, and destroy your transports and leave. Even though we have a gigantic navy here. I don't know why the game developers decided to make that possible, but they did. So instead, let's just go ahead and put all of our Marines here. It's not going to take that long. We just want to do this before the British Navy shows up. and they will be here soon. There, of course, there are some here in the port. Also, while we're doing this, we might as well go ahead and start moving your armies into Malaya. 1st and 2nd Corps. Go ahead and start moving them up here, and then we can now start pouring down from the Himalayas. Let's just go ahead and move everything here. All right, these have landed. We want to... 2 brigades will stay here at the port to cover it, and the others split them into 2 different brigades, and they will go out and take the rest of this territory. And as you can see, we're already starting to get the AI is sending us supply to these ports. Okay, just in time, we have new Marines to deploy. We'll go ahead and put them here, but it's going to be a little bit before we can use them, because when we first deploy them, they have no organization, no leaders. Give them a leader right away. We're running out of skill level 3 leaders, so we'll just give them a few of the 3s and a couple 2s, I guess. And you might as well go ahead and take Hong Kong from the British. I mean, it's right there. Might as well. I've actually changed my mind about the Marines on Java and Sumatra. We're going to use the army, since we just have 4th and 5th Corps, and I believe 9th and 10th Corps just standing around. We're going to use them to take this territory. We're going to load up the Marines and go to other ports and take them. Get them aboard the transports, and then have them go to the next destination. What I think I'll do, though, we're still not ready. We do need help from the 3rd Battle Group. We don't want to spread out our transports all over and start without protection, because the British Navy is roaming around these parts. We're going to need protection, so send them here. All right, we have taken Singapore. Singapore is now ours. I'm surprised there was no British Navy here. That is amazing. I think it's probably because we attacked the Allies so soon. By May, June, July of 41, the British Navy is down here in force. And this game, I decided to attack a little early. Usually I like to wait and make sure the Soviet Union is not going to attack us. That's why I kind of sometimes wait till summer 41, but I decided to go early, and there's no British Navy down here. So guess what we get to do? Let's put the transports. Let's go ahead and have them dock here. Get them out of the danger area. And then, how are we doing over here? 89, we're about to take that one. Here's our army. 5th Corps, I think was this 5th Corps? Yeah, coming down. All right, we have the transports here. Now, use these and go find the British Navy and destroy it. I haven't seen any of the British Navy here, so let's send them to the Straits of Malacca, is this? Yeah, and often the British have a large force here. Let's see if they're here. You want to keep your Navy together, because that's how you just smash the British Navy, and I don't see them anywhere. This is amazing. 5th Corps is here. Take 1 division and land it here. Take the other one, put it here. Okay, select the next Marine division, and let's go after this province. And the British just showed up briefly to see what, and they left. They saw what we had here and said, nah, we're out of here. Okay, these 2 divisions have landed. Take your transports and seek protection of the battle fleet up here. All right, I've stopped here with the 5th Transport and the 5th Corps. And let's just go ahead and land. I think that'd be faster. Okay, Straits of Malacca. It looks like the British Navy have arrived. Let's see, they're going to the port. So just leave your Navy here, and as they come out, they should engage them and smash them. All right, we have looks like a fight here in the Straits of Malacca. What do we have here? Ooh, the Ark Royal is here. Let's see if we can sink it. Probably not. Yeah, they retreated back to the port, but they will be coming out again. We'll just leave our Navy here, and eventually we will smash them. There we go. Another fight here. And we got the HMS Resolution, the Royal Oak. Let's see what kind of damage we can do to these. Yeah, we're doing some pretty significant damage to them. Oh, they brought out more ships. The Ark Royal is out. We sank 2 destroyers. We lost none. Look at your navy. While you're doing this, look at each one and see if any ships look like they need to be pulled. You're looking for this brown bar is your health. The green bar is your organization. If you see any ships with low health, get them out of there. Over here, same thing. Marines have taken this province, so land an empty transport here. Get the Marines on board. Bring them back out. And then land 5th Corps again. And we should still have 4 Marine divisions in these transports. We do, and we could just keep doing this. Let's go to the next location over here. Keep doing this until we've run out of range. Eventually we will. And let's bring down the next division, or the next corps. 9th Corps, load them up, and let's bring them down here. Now we're doing this again until we get the garrison units. And once we get the garrison units, we'll replace the divisions here with garrison units. You know, I almost forgot to mention, we don't need to be at war with Communist China anymore. We're already at war with the Allies, so we can end this war. Go ahead and send one of your divisions into the Communist capital. We also, I think we're set to conquer. Yeah, we're set to conquer, and that's fine. So you want to go in there, conquer. As soon as that's done, take 10th Corps and move it to a port. We're going to need it to do the same thing that these units are doing down here. We also need the Marines in Singapore for other operations, so load up the garrisons here into transports and bring them down to Singapore to stay here. We'll use them later. For now, we're going to use them to guard Singapore, but later we'll spread them out to other. Let's go ahead and just transport them because we'll need the transports up north when they're done. And then for the Marines, go ahead and well, no, we're not going to move. We need them. Let's bring them back. Let's load them up in transports, and we're probably going to use, since we can't find the British Navy yet, I'm going to start sending my fleets up north and see if I can seek them out, but I'm going to leave one of the battle groups here, probably this one, the first one, since it's in a little better shape, I think. Actually, it doesn't look like it matters. So we'll leave the second one here, and it will follow these. Let's park it here. Maybe get a little bit of repair in while we're waiting for the convoy. Oop, we got another battle here. Straits of Malacca. What do we got? Oh, just subs. Yep, it's a disaster, all right. Okay, we sank 3 French submarine units. Let's load up the Marines. And we're going to start taking the ports on Sumatra. All right, we're going to start with this port here and this one here. It's going to be dangerous because we're in the Straits of Malacca where the enemy has a fleet. You can see down there that they have large ships here, an aircraft carrier, some heavy cruisers, and other assorted ships. So let's get this done as quickly as possible. Get the Marines landed here, and the Marines landed. Let's see, which one's the port? That one is the port, okay. Okay, the HMS Glorious came out to play. It looks like we just sank a heavy cruiser. Yep, we sank a heavy cruiser. Check your fleets one more time. Make sure you're not about to lose a ship. Transports, they probably came out to... Oh, yeah, they came out to sink this transport. See what I mean? They ignored... I don't understand how they could do this. How they can ignore these 50, 60 other ships to go out and target a transport. Don't know how that's possible, but the AI can do it. So you got to do this really quick. Okay, we got our Marines there. It looks like they're trying to leave. Look at all the ships there. Come on, catch them, catch them. Ooh, I think they actually left. I think they actually got out. We'll wait here and see, but let's get our transports out of here. Another battle. The Courageous came out again. And let's see what we can sink. They might get some of our transports, hopefully. Yeah, we got the Valiant. The HMS Valiant has been sunk. Let's look at our transports. Oh, I think we lost that one, or we're about to. Let's have it, see if we can make it rebase before we lose the Marines in there. I don't know if we have yet or not. Yeah, it looks like we lost the transport and the Marine Division, I think. Here's one division here, another one here. Yep, and here's the other one. Just go to your production, build another transport, and another Marine Division. I think to force the battle, we're going to, because they keep going, poking out, and then running back to their port. So let's go ahead and take the port. I'm going to invade right here. And hopefully my transport doesn't get sunk before we can land our Marines. All right, we take in this province and the British Navy have to leave. Let's see what happens. Okay. Wow, they have 50 ships here against our 85. What do they have? Couple carriers, it looks like. Let's see what happens here. It looks like they are retreating to the Singapore Strait, so I'm going to follow them and see if we can catch them over here and force another battle. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, they lost a light cruiser, some destroyers. We lost some destroyers. Let's continue. It looks like they're... Oh, sank 2 more destroyer squadrons. Let's continue pursuing. All right, we finally destroyed the HMS Nelson and a destroyer flotilla and 2 light cruisers. And I thought I saw another fleet over here. We're going to move over here and see if we can intercept. That's the end of that one. I didn't see... Let's go over here. Maybe there was more over here. We're going to keep searching for them. Ah, there we go. They do have a few more over here. See if we can get into a battle. Yep, another destroyer flotilla gone. And is that all they have here? Looks like it. Let's go back to the Straits of Malacca and wait there for the Japanese to see if there are any others come. But we destroyed most... Well, not most. The carriers got away, but we'll get them eventually. But we destroyed a lot of their gun fleet here. It looks like they're coming after us. Nope, nothing. We'll just stay here and wait and see. We're still making progress here. Okay, I've spent most of my time with the Navy because the British Navy is the most important factor in all this. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time up here. I'll show you where we are. We're in northern Burma. I'm going to stay on the supply map because I find it the most useful. Let's just start all of 6th Corps, go to this province, 7th Corps here, 8th Corps, most of them here, and then we're going to want one of them to flush out that unit. I think that's from Bhutan. Yep. And down here, the British tried to attack me, but nothing happened. Let's go ahead and hit them. 37. Let's send the 2nd Corps here. And let's add another division to this attack. All right, time for more technology. We're at that point where we need to add more, and we're going to be looking for techs of 1942 and beyond. And let's get these small arms, the main infantry techs. We'll get those. Go ahead and get invasion tactics and landing craft support. Capital ships, get all your carrier techs. I would get small air search radar for your aircraft. Industry, go ahead and get the industry techs, at least the production and the supply techs. You can go ahead and get combat, first aid, agriculture, I guess, as well. Electronic computing machine. Radar, go ahead and move that up actually to the top since it It's an important tech. Get all these theories here. Yeah, actually there's going to be a ton of techs this year. 1942 techs here. These are, I get that one. And we already got our naval, our air techs. Yep, we got to get those as well. All right, so from here, the general idea is we're going to continue pushing with the infantry to take all of Malaya. We're going to take all of Sumatra, Java. We're basically going to be moving with our Marines, landing as soon as we take the ports, bring in the infantry, and mop up the rest of the whatever provinces that are there. Take the Marines, move on to the next port. Keep doing that. We did discover a British division here. It looks like they are elite. So I landed another division here, and as soon as we have them mopped up, we're going to continue. This is our third battle group with all of our transports with Marines. I do need to replace these, but we had issues with the British Navy. They sank a few of our transports. I am rebuilding them. Right here, got 2 Marines, 2 transports. We have, if you lose units, it's okay. We got tons of IC and money and troops. It's no big deal. It just takes time to rebuild them. So if you lose a few land units, no big deal. So again, the general idea, take all of Malaya, take these with your Marines and infantry first, and keep pushing with these divisions and these divisions into Burma. When you do get garrison units like these, bring them down here and start placing them in places where your infantry or Marines are, so that you can move them and have them do other tasks. Lastly, and probably most importantly, keep moving these units, this fleet, keep moving them around, try and find the British Navy, keep them together, and when you find a stack of the British Navy, pounce on them, keep pursuing them until you destroy them. We're going to see if they're in Rangoon real quick. If they're not here, then we'll just, let's, yeah, they're moving here to there we go, and we're in a battle. It's not a large battle. That's too bad. Looks like we're going to sink some destroyers, and they're going to hide in the port. And I think that was like a light or heavy cruiser. That's all that's there. Let's see if there's a Navy. Let's see if there's something over here. No, they left. They left. So we'll come back down here to Malacca and kind of lock out the British Navy from coming in through here. They could still come around here, but generally they try and come through the Strait of Malacca. And we'll just leave our fleets here. And if they come in, well, we'll sink them. And we'll just, for now, we will pursue our land combat, and we'll destroy the rest of the British Navy as soon as we can catch up to them. April 6th now, and we are in pursuit of the HMS Rodney and a few accompanying ships, and they move to this ocean province. There they are. And here she is. The Royal Sovereign is also here, and we will continue to pursue them until we have sunk. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you. Went through and looked at each of my ships in the battle groups and the carriers. You can look at the sunk ships, the ships that each of my ships have sunk, and there's a list of them. I went through here and excluding the Chinese and Siamese ships, we have sunk 3 British battleships, 1 heavy cruiser, 11 light cruisers, 13 destroyers, 12 subs, and 3 transports. And again, we are hot on the trail of 2 more battleships. And I'm thinking I should bring up... Oh, we found some subs. There are the ships. We got another heavy cruiser. And now they're moving... Where are they moving? Over here? It looks like they're moving back over here again. They are. I might bring out my 2 battle group fleets to go out. I think I will. Yeah, let's move them out here too and see if we can catch them. Oh, wait. We got 2 more destroyers, and now they're moving here. How far are they away? Let's get them to move up here too. Maybe we can catch them and sink those 2 battleships. We got one of them, the Royal Sovereign, and the rest of them are headed down here. Oh, I think it slipped past us. I wonder where it went. Let's see if it's, well, we could stay here for a little bit and see if we can catch it. Let's go back up here. Did it give us a slip? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. We'll come back to the Straits of Malacca and wait and pick them up again. All right, we've taken all of Malaya here, so I'm going to have the 3rd Corps just gather all the units and bring them up, at least to right here. We'll have them strategic redeploy here. I don't know if I have enough. I don't know if I could use them in this area. I'm going to see for a little bit. I'm going to see how my supply holds up. So far, it's looking really good here. And there's not many British units here anyway, so I may not even need them up north. As you can see, it's still slow going. All right, we have our next light cruiser run finished. These are, I'm not sure what, I think these are, yeah, level 5 light cruisers. So I'm going to deploy them all here, and then I'm going to bring them over to where I have my 5 carrier task forces right here, which is basically guarding Rangoon port, because the British have some ships in there. They have 21 units based here, so I'm just waiting for them to come out and play. But in the meantime, I'm going to send the light cruisers over here and replace all the old ones in these task forces. All right, the battle for Rangoon is on. It is May 21st, and we got the Japanese 19th and 36th Infantry Divisions going against the 25th Indian Infantry. General Hamilton Green, skill level 1, against General Nishio, skill level 3. We're going to win this one easy. This is what this looks like. We're trying to cut off these British units from escaping. I think I can. Up north, this is what is our progress so far. It's looking pretty good, and we keep taking these islands. We still have one more division that we can use, which is, I forgot where. It's right. Oh, right. They are loaded up. No wonder I couldn't see them. They're already loaded up in transports, and we're probably, let's go ahead and bring them down to this area so we can continue our island hopping campaign. All right, sank another light cruiser. We're at 66%. As soon as we occupy, they will leave. They, I believe the HMS... Ooh, what happened here? Oh, the Australian Navy decided to go after Battle Group 3 and my operations down here, and they paid the price. That didn't go well for them. I think I might pursue them. Although, oh, they bypassed my 4 battleships and heavy cruisers and destroyers and went right after my transports. So let's send the battle group after them and destroy them. All right, we sank the HMS Australia and some more destroyers, and we're going to keep pursuing them. Okay, I believe that's the last of the Australians. Another heavy cruiser, 2 destroyers. I'm going to follow up here just in case there are more that we missed. Okay, it looks like the British have come out of port. Let's take a look at this battle now. We have some destroyers. Mostly destroyers and transports. We should be able to sink all those. Yep, couple destroyer flotillas, transports. And they're headed back to port. I know there's a carrier in there unless it already got away. But we'll see. How long is this going to take? May 26th at 3. So we have a couple days to find out. And 4 more transports. I've been building transports when I can because, as you can see from this battle down here, you lose them fairly easily. We've just occupied Rangoon, And the British have 24 ships coming out of port. And is any of the... Yep, the HMS Courageous is here. Hopefully we can chase her and kill her. Oh, okay, we've destroyed... Let's see. The HMS Rameles. Some destroyed... Lots of destroyers. Ooh, we lost the Congo. That's too bad. And the light cruiser. Let's continue to chase them. It's unfortunate we lost our own battle cruiser, but that's going to happen. Okay, now we're down to 22. See what we can... Okay, a transport flotilla. Which way are they going? Sometimes you can tell... Oh man, I think they're going here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep, okay. 17 ships. Look at all of these that are... We're probably going to sink a lot of these here. Yep. Transports, more light cruisers, transports, and light cruisers. I want that carrier. Where are they going now? It looks like they're going here. We'll continue to pursue another... And it looks like they're going to this port here. Hopefully we can kill some of these. Look at the Courageous. Its current strength is down to 73%. Here's the Revenge. Maybe we can sink it. No, it looks like they went into port, maybe? Or did they... I think they went into port. But I'll move here. Oh, no, we caught some more of them. Courageous is with them. Come on. Kill her. Kill her! Did we get her? We got the HMS Revenge. We got a light cruiser, lots more destroyers and transports, but that flat top is still eluding us. Let's see if we can get it here. I think we can. Yep. No, well, we'll get her. She keeps fleeing, but we'll get her. There, we got her. HMS Courageous sunk. Gone. They do have some other ships here. It looks like a battleship and another carrier is here. Let's stay here and blockade this port, and let's get some Marines ready to land here so that we can force them out of port. We have 2 in Singapore ready to go, and I think they're going to be the closest ones. So yeah, let's get that done. All right, the Marines have arrived. Let's have them land at the island. I'm going to go ahead and send them both divisions in. And let's see what we look like here. 49, what are we dealing with? 1 looks like Gurkha Indian Infantry. I think that's what those are. They are elite British soldiers, but our Marines will take care of them. Oh, I hope they didn't leave. I think they're still in the port. Hopefully we'll get a battle here soon. All right, there we go. We got a light cruiser coming out. Hopefully, oh, I wonder if they're moving to Coco Channel. It looks like it. It looks like they've left the port. Let's have all but the transports pursue. Okay, we got a battle. Oh, it's just some battle cruisers, it looks like. Is that all that's left here? I guess that's all they have left here. I thought they had more. Well, we'll kill them. All right, we got 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser. Looks like a battle cruiser and a light cruiser, and I think that's it. Let's go back to the diplomatic mode. Keep pushing the 3 corps from the Northern China Army down. This is what I'm trying to do right now. The 7th Corps is trying to reach the coast. I'm going to go to this province, then this province, then this province, and I will cut off anything that's left in here. And we're going to link up the 2 armies, eliminate what's left here. I'm probably going to stop here, consolidate in the bay. This is the Gulf of Martaban. Basically, we're going to bring up our navies, make this their home port, secure this area, patrol, make sure that the British aren't coming through here, make sure we're getting our supplies, while at the same time continuing to take islands and ports and territory from the Dutch. And I'm going to be starting on the Australians shortly. June 22nd now, and we have caught a large British fleet in the Indian Ocean, consisting of 2 battleships and looks like a line carrier and a light carrier. This is exactly what we're looking for. Let's see what happens in this battle. We're going to pursue them. We're probably not going to sink them right away. Oh, it looks like a couple their battleships went a different direction, perhaps. Okay, we sunk a couple of Dutch subs in this area. Wonder which way they're going. I'm hoping they're going this way. Looks like it. Let's keep pursuing. Come on. Let's get this carrier. I don't know where they're... Yeah, we're going to get the carrier. But I don't know where their battleships went. HMS Glorious has been sunk. We'll continue pursuing. Found the HMS Repulse now. And some destroyers. We've got some destroyers. Again, keep pursuing. And here's the Argus. There's the Repulse. Let's see if we can kill it. We lost 2 of our subs. Alright, they lost the heavy cruiser Kent. 2 more destroyers. Keep going. Okay, I think that's it. And it looks like their carrier and battleship got away, but we will keep searching. Wait. Maybe they're still down here. Yep, well, we found the Warspite. Sank another heavy cruiser. Alright, we got the Warspite. We sank the Warspite and a light cruiser. Another heavy cruiser, another light cruiser, and that may be it. We'll keep searching for them, especially those carriers. We got the Cornwall, another heavy cruiser. I think that's it. And actually, it looks like our carriers and light cruisers are doing just fine. No damage on those. However, I did notice something, that a lot of our carrier air groups, in fact, we've lost some carrier air groups, and I noticed this with the 5th carrier air group. See, there are no... There are no aircraft left, and that's probably because most of them were without leaders. Same with these, but if you look at some of these, like from the 3rd CAG, they're still all here because they have decent leaders. So I'm going to have to build a bunch more carrier air groups, and for the 5th CAG, we will have them, let's have them go to Singapore and wait until, they're just going to sit here and wait until we can get more carrier air groups. By the way, we've done most of our damage against the British Navy with A5M Claudes and Susies, the old tech. And I think we just recently, yeah, some of these have zeros and vowels and Kates and some don't. We just got the tech. And I believe we're still upgrading. Yes, we're doing upgrades now. So we did most of that with old tech. We're going to put in 8 carrier air groups into the queue. We'll probably need more. Don't know how many, but let's do 10, I guess. Parallel construction, that's 100 I see. And we'll get to them at some point, eventually. 5th of August now, and we've caught up with the Allied task force we've been looking for. It has the HMS Furious and the HMS Eagle down here. I had CAG number 1 on patrol and found them. I'm bringing down CAG number 2, and I'm hoping that we can sink these 2 carriers. They're on the ropes, it looks like. And it looks like they're headed right over here into the waiting arms of my 4 line carriers. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. See if we can sink these 2 carriers. Hopefully they don't give us a slip again. All right, we got the HMS Eagle and another destroyer And I think we're going to get the other carrier. Pretty sure. Yep. The Furious is on its way to the bottom, or it will be here soon. There we go. Got it. We got the HMS Furious as well as another light cruiser destroyer. So that's 2 more carriers down. We'll send the first and second carrier air group back to Rangoon for rest and repair. I don't think we lost a whole... Yeah, the aircraft need a little... Ooh. Yeah, we've had a little damage to our carriers. Not a whole lot. Probably from their air groups as well. Looks like carrier air group 2 is okay. Let's have them go back and recover. Also, we have another situation. Near the island of New Guinea, we did run... As we were island hopping and moving into New Guinea, we did discover the Allies have carriers down here. They have a couple carriers, probably light carriers, but it's a task force that we have to take seriously. So I brought over the second battle group because they did kind of hit the third battle group, which I sent for repair here. And it's going good. It's going well. But Issei was almost sunk, so I had to bring over some serious help over here. And now we have the second battle group and the third carrier air group, but their aircraft are still recovering. I also brought in the Pacific carrier air group. Remember, there was 1 carrier left over, and this is it, the CAG. And it looks fine. As soon as we get the aircraft from the third CAG repaired, which might take 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to resume our offensive. We're going to hunt down this, wherever it is, this Allied task force and kill it. All right, mid-December, same year, and as you can see, we have full control of the Solomon Islands and New Guinea, Port Moresby, pretty much everything in this area. What happened, and we never did find those carriers. By the time my fleets were ready to go, the organization was up, and we went searching for them, could not find them. So we helped ourselves to the Solomons, and we still have 4 Marine divisions down here, and we're preparing them. We're looking at our supply here. We're preparing them to go against Australia. I'll show you the VP map mode here. There are high value targets on the East Coast. We'll probably just need to take those because Australia is already at 40% surrender progress, and it says their unity is 79%. That's probably about accurate. This is what Burma looks like. We are now pouring into India. This is elements of the 2nd Army. I believe it's 6th, 7th, and 8th Corps. The rest of them I moved out. Some are in Rangoon. Some are in Siam. I think most of them are down here. We're just preparing and getting organized. I have Marines also. So I think those are mostly in Singapore, yes. We're getting ready because we have control of this area now in Rangoon. But our next target is going to be India and Ceylon, probably the Middle East, Africa, South Africa, and who knows where from there. But we're going to handle that in the next episode. Thanks for joining me on this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again next time.